right, good day, happy Sunday, and happy weekend. I hope you're getting everything done or nothing, whatever works for you on the weekend. Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation back at you. Wanted to get it out early this week on my estimate. Group B, Yieldmax, led by Nvdy. All right, let's jump in here. Oh, some housekeeping things. So 226 will be the declaration, which is Wednesday in the market. Ex-dividend on 27, so you got to buy on 26. If you don't own something and you want to get paid, you will get paid on Friday the 28th. All right, so let's jump in here to Nvdy and talk about it. It's always interesting. So a few of the inputs and things that I try to take note of, I like to do this declaration day to declaration day, but so be it. So I had 2068, so it is showing Nvidia up at 2099. And I think if you go back and we have some days forward, maybe it'll be up more. So it's yielding around 60% on the 30-day IV. So I went up on my price, but not back into the dollars. We shall see. Maybe it's a dollar, maybe it's $1.05, but I'm going to stick to 96 cents. It's still right now under a $21 stock. I mean, that's low for Nvidia, or sorry, Nvidia. That'd be really low for Nvidia. Clearly low for Nvidia. All right, so Facebook Meta. What do we have there? I came out with 53 cents. What do I base that on? Well, look at this. It's been 50, 90, 80, 30s, 40s, 60s. Okay. Well, it is actually down, but it's hung on. It's fairly stable across the board. One of the more stable stocks, period, over time. The yield, previous payment, was 37.55. I've got it paying 34.71 and I'm dropping it because I was over by a little bit last week, but I think I was 96%. And what I mean by that is I added up all of my guesstimates and I added up all the actuals, and I was within 3.4%, and I was high. So I'm being a little conservative here, although there's a few big possible payers. So I'll keep an eye on that. But I got 53 cents for Meta. JP Morgan. Now that's another tough one. It was up big. How's it doing? Well, it's down. And the IV, as you know, wouldn't be high on a bank like this. Um, I've got it paying higher than the IV. I mean, at 69 cents last week, it was a 42.68 yield dividend. I've got it only paying 36 cents, which is higher than three previous payments, almost higher than a fourth one in October, and under. So 36 cents for JP Morgan. MRNY. Boy, if the underlying Moderna doesn't do something, MRNY is dying on the vine. I'm calling this one out and saying it's going under that $5, requirement. So I don't know if they've received a notice and they already plan. I mean, maybe there's some magic drug that they're going to come out with again. I don't think they'll be able to do a fake pandemic and pull that off. That was a one-time thing. They'd love to try. I say they, whoever the world deep state is. I think we've sort of cleaned up the deep state in the U.S., but who knows where the rest of the world is. So 379 dropped from 495. I've got it still paying 23 cents. I mean, it's paid 27, 25, 22. 23 is what I have with a pretty high IV yield, but just a horrible, NAV reduction to the max. GDXY, something I know a little bit about and I'm tracking. I think we're close a week or two from possibly topping in gold. And then I think we go down in March, maybe into April, and then take off again. There'll be some socioeconomic and some geopolitical issues that create this lull. But I mean, gold is just, it may hit its 3,000 here in the next week or so before it moves down in March some. So I'm not even sure that the gold stocks will sell off that much. I've got it paying 54 cents, which is down from 59. But look at these 37, 34. They've had a 48, a 60, and a 60. Um, so I've still got it paying pretty decent. It's up over month to month. It only has that's why I haven't been happy with um, Yieldmax because the IV just isn't high enough and it's hard for them to squeeze blood out of a turnip. So this isn't always the best way to play precious metals miners. I mean, the metals themselves have just gone, gold's gone ballistic. Silver will follow, and the miners will do very, very well. I've got GDX heading up, and it's in low 40s. I've got it 60, 65. Now, hopefully that happens this year later, but certainly by next year, it'll be pretty phenomenal. I've got 3,300 gold next year. We'll see 3,100 this year. Uh, all right, dips, the inverse of Nvdy, 46 and a half. I've got them down from the last 250 payments, 260 before that, a 68 before that, and a $1.21. I mean, I guess if Nvidia gets hit hard, dips, but I don't see them. Let's see, what did they do here? Yeah, they're down 1275, 1163. I just don't see it. I'm close to the IV at 46.5, so I'm going to go with that. Babo. This one, oh, I've got a mistake on this, I think. No, maybe not. Babo, I don't know how to go about doing what I want to do here, I guess. Let me think about this for a second because I remember going over this in my notes. It's paid $1.29. Um, it just flew up. Anybody that I was telling you guys that I was in K-Web a couple of months ago. The Chinese stocks are very undervalued. Look at JD.com, um, Tencent, um, Baba, right? The Amazon like. I mean, there's a lot in China that have just been beaten down, and they're a play to be up. So it's not surprising. So I could be way off here. I don't know why the IV, and I have a good source for that, is so low, but something's wrong. I thought I had this up. I'm gonna go with $1.20 in Babo. And that's still, I mean, it's up $5 and it's just flown a few days. And it and many of the other Chinese stocks, I look at my KWeb, it's the same thing. It's an ETF with a whole bunch of them from Granite. Um, and then there's Plty, my favorite. If I could only have one stock, it would be Palantir. Now, in some fairness, and for those of you that listen to some of my videos, I came out and said there'll be a gap fill. We got close to filling the gap. but this is back when it was in the 90s. And, for me, my last buy in, additional buy in, was 68 and 67, actually, 67.60, I think, in Pulte. And I cashed out at 90. When I saw it vacillating in the 90s, I said, enough of enough. I got the 298 payment, um, and I still may jump back in here because I think Palantir is going to pay $4. I mean, look at this. If you go back, it was 69. Yeah, that I had gotten in a little before that and then got that dividend payment. So it is 78.97. And don't get me wrong, I think this thing hits 71. I've got some more buys in the 71, 71 and a half range for the gap fill, where it just launched on some exciting news way back in early mid January. So, needless to say, this came down. It hit 74 earlier. I don't know if it was on Thursday or it was on Friday. Yeah, I think it was on Thursday. It came down to 74, got back up around 82 or 83, and then pulled back to 78. So I love this thing at $70. I would just load up like crazy for the long term move, because what they're saying is, oh, the government's penny pinching. Maybe they're going to watch military spending. Well, these guys have already proved themselves to be 50% commercial, besides being, 47% of government expenditure. But I can tell you, there's no software like it. So if you want to walk big and you want to walk strong and carry a big stick, and you don't actually want to fight a war, then you better have all the logistical analysis of AI and how do I move this many people and this many machines and equipment and ammunition and just all of the things that their framework can do. It's phenomenal, be it a hospital, be it an army, a navy, a marines. So logistically, this stuff is just miles ahead of what people can do without it. Yes, it's expensive, but I don't think that the government won't spend the money there, because that's going to, instead of spending, billions on a fighter jet, I'm with Trump for negotiating with Boeing and Lockheed Martin and all these other guys and get the price of some of that stuff down. They're just ripping off the government. All right. So anyway, sorry about the tangent. So I changed Babo to $1.20. It could be more. 416 for Pulte. Um, YMAX. Remember, they pay from what Group A did last week. So, you can get close. I got 16 and a half cents, which is a 53.42 yield. I have 19 and a half cents for YMAG, 57.26. Now these other guys are newer. Morrow is still, it's down. Look at this, 36 down to 29. It's just going absolutely the wrong way. But since these things launched in the $50 price range, they can't go around and pay 30 or 40 cents. People will be pretty upset with that. So I've got them at $1.78, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're a $1.50 either. Um, LFgy, right? Again, somebody, it's just these guys are beat up, both them and Caputi, but I think more with LFgy. So I've got them dropping. They were 74 cents, 62 cents. I've got them at 59 cents. Still a 70.48 yield with a 58% IV. So Gaputi, I got them going up. They were 33 cents and 29 cents. I've got them paying 39, yielding almost their IV, 44 and a half out of 45. And SDTY, they paid 22 cents last time for their first payment. So I've got them dropping a little bit because the price has been dropping. Um, and I have QDTY. I think it's going to pay. I've got them at 22.5 cents on their payment. So that gets me up to 1201. So I can't wait to put in the actuals when they happen and just keep fine tuning this thing. But I kind of enjoy it. You guys have told me you like to see these things. So that's what I got for you. I'm going to make it quick. I got a lot of things to do. Oh, by the way, I've got a video coming out. Hopefully, I'll have it out Sunday night, worst case Monday morning. It is a everything to do about taxes about high yield dividends. So not only do I touch on ROC again, but I talk about what are the categories of income and how are they taxed, and with qualified dividends and non-qualified dividends, and then return of capital, and just all the little gotchas and what to look for. I think you're really going to enjoy this because I put a lot of time. I copied the tax tables. I show you real world examples. And I think it's apropos because I pretty much just did my taxes. I'm waiting to see if there's any changes in the fund reporting, but I've got them done. I just haven't finalized it. Um, but it made me think about you guys, and there's a lot of little nuances and things you really need to do. So I'm going to say something like how to find your greatest um, dividend ETF yield and pay no tax. I think you're going to enjoy this one. All right, guys, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye for now.